everyone, Sandra Sherman here. Greetings from Austria. This video is about minor chord embellishments. I have the same video out with major chords. Have you ever wondered how some people have those beautiful additional tones in their playing? I'm going to teach you the system and show you 5 examples, one for each chord shape. As usual, I'm going to explain everything slowly and in detail. And of course, I'm providing free tabs for you to download from our website. The link is down below in the description. Okay, let's go. All right, let's start with the A minor shape. What you're seeing right now is an insert of the A minor shape with the tensions or embellishments for the A minor shape. The black dots are the chord tones. There are also black dots with a red circle around, which are the root tones. Then we have, I think, 3 colored dots, and those are purple ones, yellow ones, and blue ones. And those are the embellishment notes, okay? You can rest, if you embellish, you rest on the black dots only, okay? We do not want to rest on embellish notes. They're just additional tones, but we want to rest on the chord tones, not on additional embellishment tones. Okay, let's start with the first example. And here's how I played it. I have a C minor chord derived from the A minor shape. So I'm on the 3rd fret because here is a C. On the 3rd fret of the A string, I bar this over all the strings except for the low E. And then I have my 5th and 5th of D and G and a 4th on the B string. So I have 3, 5, 5, 4, 3. This is a C minor chord. I play the low strings first. So the A and the D string, and then I hit the higher strings, the upper strings, real hard. This is 1, 2. And then it's for the fill. And the fill starts with the 3rd of the G and the 4th of the B. The 3rd is, we can consider this a chord tone, it's the 7th. In pop music, it's more of an embellishment note, the 7th here. It's the blue note, the blue dot on your sheet, on the graphics. And I am now playing the 5th fret of the G string as a hammer. I play both strings, the G and the B string, but I hammer only the G string on the 5th fret. And now I pull it off again. And it goes really quickly. And then I put my ring finger on the 5th of the D, and I play this only while everything else keeps ringing. So it sounds like this. And then I do the same rhythmic figure on the next pair of strings. This is the 3rd fret of the D and the G string. I bar this. And I have an embellishment tone here. This is the 4th. I think it's a purple dot on your sheet. And I hammer over to a chord tone on the 5th fret of the D string. Again, I play 2 strings, but I hammer only 1, and I pull it off again. In the right hand, you can play hybrid picking like I do, and most pros do that because it's more flexible. I play the pick with the pick in the D string, and the middle finger plays the G string. But if you're not used to that kind of playing, just play with your pick. That's absolutely okay. You have to be careful though not to hit any other strings, so it's more precise to play hybrid picking too. And since I shouldn't remain on an additional note, on a tension or embellishment note, whatever you might call this, so I go down to the third of the chord, which is the sixth fret of the A string. Okay? And actually the rest is not ringing anymore. It can, but we usually dampen it accidentally. We mute it with our with our pinky. That's totally okay. Okay, so real slow now. 3, 4. So here's the G minor shape, derived from the G major and then moved to the G minor. I move it up to the 8th fret to get a C minor. So we would have the 8th of E, the 6th of A, the 5/5 of D and G, and the 6th and 6th of B and E strings. I can't play this, and I doubt you can. So we're splitting this chord into the bass and the middle strings. The bass would be 8, 6, 5. We can use this for some rock kind of style. Or we play the middle strings. This would be 6, 8, 5, 5, and 8. And I have some nice embellishments here within a good reach. This is the 7th of the G string, which I can nicely add. It gives us some cool, nice additional color. To the right of it, next to it, is another chord tone. Then I have another nice embellishment here on the 5th of the A string, so I can hammer on here or just play like this. Okay, try noodling around a bit yourself, and I show you my example now. Here's how I played this. I used the inner 4 strings only. 6, 8, 5, 5, 8. I started with the lower 2 strings, A and D strings. And then I played the upper 2 or 3 strings from the B string, that's the 8th fret, and the G and D string maybe. Okay, and I played upwards because it's a 16th on the 4th beat of the first quarter note. So we have a dotted 8th note. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th is the upwards move. And then you rest. 1 E and D 2. 1 E and D 2. Okay, one more time. And then I start my embellishings. I use the 5th fret of the A string. I play only that string, and I think I palm muted it. Then I played the 6th string, the 6th fret of the A string. Then I play the 5 and 5 of the D and G string. Those are chord tones. And now I stretch my pinky over to the 8th fret of the G note, while this is still lying here on the 5th fret of the D note, of the D, and this is the 8th of the G string. Then I go over to the 7th fret of the G, plus this still lying here. Then both fifths. And then a single note on the D string, it's the 8th fret. I could actually lift these up, but I just remain there. Because when I want to start over again, I just need to place my middle finger here and I'm in the chord again, so I do not lift my fingers off, okay? in slow motion in time. 3, 4. All right, here's an easy one for you. I guess everyone is familiar with the E minor chord down here. And if we move it up 8 frets to the 8th fret, it becomes a C minor chord. So this is 8th fret barred and the A and D string on the 10th fret, okay? This is the E minor chord, okay? Now we have plenty of nice embellishments lying around here. There is, what we got? 10th fret of the E string, so you can lift your pinky and just noodle around here. You could also play the G string on the 10th, and then move back to the D string, which was the chord tone before. Just play the whole chord and then play the single notes while the chord is still ringing and noodle around. Oops. Okay, let's look at our example, yeah. Okay, what have we got here? We got our C minor chord, 8, 10, 10, 8, 8, 8. I'm hitting the low strings first, and then the high strings real hard. And then I rest. Then I move my finger down, the index finger to stay on the 8th fret. I don't like to remain in a bar chord mode because that's too uncomfortable. So I lift my finger off and I play the G and B strings simultaneously, and I hit the G string on the 10th fret. So I play 2 notes and hit only one. I hammer it on. And then I pull it off again. Okay? And then this ring finger goes over to the D string on the 10th fret. Play this alone while the rest's still ringing. Real quick. Then I do the same thing on the middle 2 strings. D string and G string on the 8th fret. So I shift my index. And I put my ring finger on the 10th of the D string and I hammer on it and pull it off again. Like before. Now we're here. And then I put my ring finger on the 10th of the A string and play this alone, okay? While the rest's still ringing. Okay, the whole thing in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. The D minor shape is derived from the open D minor chord. Let's move it up to C minor. Index finger has the root, so let's search for a C on the D string. Get it on the 10th of the D string and shape a D minor chord around it. Now we are in C minor. This is 10th of D, 12th of G, 13th of B, and 11th of E. Since this is a pretty high voicing, it's perfect for a second guitarist. So if you have 2 guitarists in the band, one can play the low chord, like the C minor chord, and the other guitarist can complement with the higher, the upper chord. Plus embellishments, okay, which I'm going to show you right now. this is how I played it. I have my D minor shape on the C minor. This is 10D, 12, 13, 11. I start with the D string only, and then followed by the upper strings. Okay, those are both downstrokes. 1, 2, and lift your fingers off quickly. Okay, so make it real short. And now for the embellishments. I'm putting my index finger on the 11th fret of the E and B strings. I have an embellishment here already, or a chord tone if you want to. So this is a flat 7th of the C minor chord. Then I hit those both strings, and I hammer to the 13th of the B string. This is the root, and I make this in the Hendrix whoop style. I call the whoop style. This is a fast whoop. It's one note only, not two, it's just whoop. Okay, then I'll lift it off again and play those two again. Okay, so we got, then I'll leave those and add my middle finger to the 12th of the G string. This is a chord tone, and I played along with the B string, so G and B string, 12 and 11. I don't hit the E note anymore, but it's still kind of ringing. Now I add the ring finger to the 13th of the D string. That's another chord tone. And I play the D and the G string now, while the upper two might still ring. So 13 and 12. Okay, whoop. Next two strings and next pair of strings. Then I start all over again. I only start with my index finger. I don't put the whole chord at once. I start with this. Then I have time enough, a quarter note, to put the rest of the fingers here. Oh, that was just one note. Here are the three strings. Those are the upper three strings of the C minor chord again, like in the first bar. And now I have another embellishment fill. I change over to 10 G and 11 of B. This gives me two embellishment tones. This is the 4th, and this is the 7th, which actually is a chord tone too. And now I hit the 12th of the G string, but I play both strings. So I have 10 and 11, and then I have 12 and 11 of G and B. Then I return to this one. Then I play the 13th, sorry. The 13th of the D string. I play it alone while the rest still ringing. Okay. So second bar was. So here's the whole phrase in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. The last chord shape is the shape of C minor, and in the key of C minor we just move from the open strings to the 12th fret. This is this shape. 15 of A, this is the root, 13 of D, 12 of G, and 13 of B. This is hard to fret, I know. Pinky, middle, index, ring finger. Only the inner 4 strings. Never play the outer E strings. Try to mute them, or don't even hit them with your right hand. Okay, since this is hard to fret, we can split them split it into two shapes, like the lower three strings with your pinky, middle, and index. That's a nice chord, but it's really high now. Let's move it down a bit. Okay. And the upper voicing with the D, G, and B string on 13, 12, 13. That's just the same chord, but I'm an exception, an excerpt of it. And it's a little hard to play any embellishments here, but they are there, okay? We have one here on the 15th. We have one on the 15th here on the G and B strings. We have a nice 9th on the 12th of the D string. So I do that a lot. I hammer on here and put my index finger back where it was. Okay, I'll show an example. Okay, let me explain this to you. I used the lower voicing before and then the upper voicing. So I split it. I didn't play it at once. I start with the lower voicing. This is the 15th of the A, the 13th of the D, and the 12th of the G string. I start with the lower two strings first, so A and D string, and I hit them twice. Okay. Then I lift my pinky and I play those two, the middle and the index finger on the 13th and the 12th of the G. And I play it once. So I have, okay. Then I take my index and put it on the 12th of the D string. This is the embellishment tone. So this is where my fill starts. This was the chord thing. And now the fill starts. I play the 12th, I play the 13th of the D, then I play the 12th of the G, and back to the 13th of the D. So those four notes are. Okay. Then I have the 15th of the B string, and I leave these fingers, I keep them in place, okay, so it can all ring together. And I play the 15th of the B string alone while everything still is ringing. Then I hit the D string, and then I lift off my pinky and add the ring finger to play that upper chord voicing we had before on the 13th of the B string. And everything's still ringing. Let it all blend into each other. Okay, here's the whole thing in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope I was a help with those minor chord embellishments. Don't forget, I also have a video online for major chord embellishments and the cage system. So take a look into these two, please. And if you like the video, please give it a like, which means give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you soon. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao.